is there anything that we haven't covered that you think is really, really good advice for people to have in the forefront of their minds when sort of going through the process of being stopped and searched, or their child has had a stop and search, they've been taken into custody. Is there any really key pieces of advice that we've not covered that you think people should know?
I really feel like we've covered it, to be honest. It's been quite an
Yeah.
in-depth session. No, I would just say, and what I've kind of said quite a few times, is it is so important to have a solicitor, even if, and it's your choice if you want to follow their advice. If you speak to the solicitor and you really think that you know better, then you don't have to even follow their advice if you don't want to. I mean, I would suggest you probably should follow their advice, because there are reasons. We are legally trained. So as much as you might feel like you know what's best to say or do, there are lots of reasons or different things, little implications. You could say something that, implicates you in some way. So always better. But as I say, even with those kind of things, in terms of trying to go to the extra mile, get that weighted blanket in, get different bits and pieces in to make it as, best as it can, or get the child out and have them come back for interview in the morning. Not, if you don't have a solicitor, you're not going to know any of these different options that are available to you. And even the solicitor's view on the case, if they're trying to arrest a child for assaulting a police officer, then you see the body-worn footage and it's very clear that there were 8 officers around a 14-year-old and they were being very heavy-handed. We can do so much more, and we can help. So I do think it's always best to get a solicitor. It really does help. And particularly if you've got a child, try to look for youth specialist solicitors, because, yeah, as I say, we've got a specialist youth team here that are specifically here, specialists, experts in dealing with children. We deal with them day in, day out. We're very keen about trying to keep them out of custody, get them in, get them out. We're conscious about what we can do, different outcomes that we can get. You can agree things that, like an out of court disposal. There's all different options that might be available to you that you're just not going to know unless you have a solicitor.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. And thank you so much, Ghislaine, for answering all of those questions. I think we have all probably learned a little bit of something there. And I'm sure, after the recording of this go up across different social media platforms where I imagine if you're watching this, that is where you're watching it from. That, yeah, I think there's just so much to take away from that. So thank you for being so informative and going so in depth into those questions. Um, yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will pass back over to Olivia. But yeah, a massive thank you to you, Ghislaine.
You're more than welcome. And yeah, as I've said, very, very happy to be here and very grateful to be part of it. We're very passionate about the traveller movement and the work that you do. So it really just works hand in hand with what we try to do in terms of representing our, people as best as we can. And yeah, dealing with it as best as we can. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and hopefully people can take away from this that there are absolutely people in your profession, Ghislaine, that are championing traveller and gypsy rights, and that everyone can't be tarred with the same brush.
Yeah.
There are really people that want to fight for your rights and actually understand that there are cultural differences that may impact a situation. So thank you for all of your work.
Yeah, particularly even, I'm sorry, just to jump in, particularly even if parents are being charged with, like, children not going to school, if there are, reasons for that. Maybe there's been bullying in school and that's why you've had to pull them out of school, and that's why, we even assist with those sorts of things. So really important, and we're conscious of the fact, there's been discrimination because they're from the traveller community, and that's why they've been taken out of school, and there are reasons for this. So yeah, very important.